Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. It's an interesting time with a lot of conversations with many in the industry about how their years have gone and the preparations they're making for 2021. And having traveled last week and spoke to some loan officers in a company that I don't have a lot of people in, just a select few conversations that I don't often get to have since coronavirus, with people that I don't know or with companies that I'm not affiliated with, is getting some perspective from the street that I usually get because I travel a lot more. And I think because 2020 was a year like pretty much no ever we've ever seen, the my total trips generally run somewhere between 15 and 25 during the course of the year to do trainings, and this year it was three. It tells you the number of people that I didn't get to talk to and get their views and see what their thoughts were or share my experiences. But the few people that I did get to speak to recently who are not regular people, it amazes me how they look at people who are producing well and doing better when they may not be, and they attribute other people's success largely due to luck. That person was lucky they got this relationship, or they're lucky they found this builder, or they're lucky that this happened or that happened. And the old expression, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I think it's sad that the mortgage industry still contains people who could possibly have that belief system in a year where, despite layoffs and shutdowns and illness and death and virus and what have you, we've also seen from a mortgage side interest rates that are 1% lower than they were last year, a housing market on the purchase side that's better than 22% year over year when it comes to volume. All this activity, for the most part, is loan officers struggling to hang on to the wave of business. It often gets bypassed that we look at some of our people in the industry who are not seeing 50 or 100% or more improvement in their numbers, who for whatever reason have not seen the benefit to the same degree as others, and would attribute the fact that they're not to something as inconsequential and unreal as luck, because it luck's got really nothing to do with the success that people are having this year. It's work, and it's looking at what it is that they do and how it is that they approach it. And I think it's important that we don't allow people to assume that some of the people who are having great years this year are doing it because of luck. The other side to the coin is not to be, feeling inadequate when you see other people posting massive numbers, and wondering that you're working as hard and as diligent as you can and feel like your systems are solid and you're not putting up the numbers that you're seeing other people put up. Understand that in our industry, there's no similarity between the way many people work. You could be a loan officer working by yourself who does a great job producing 10 to 15 loans a month, in 40 to 50 hours a week. You could be somebody that's part of a team. You could see people putting up big numbers who have production partners whose business funnels up through them, and you'll see massive numbers up there. But you can't assume that some of the massive numbers that you see revolve around a lot of people just funneling business up through one name, because that's also not true. There are people who have teams where they have production, in their business, but that business the relationships and the production all stems from an individual loan officer, person who speaks to every client, who has the conversation about, pre-qualification or what type of product to use. There are many that are like that, some producing 100 or 200 or $300 million years, 5, 6, 700 units, where we have loan officers who do speak to all the clients and have people who carry out their system. The part here is none of it is luck. It is all developed to be how that particular loan officer or that team has chosen to do business. And my part is the pressure in our industry, and if you're looking at it from the internet and from online lenders and from call center places, is exactly the type of pressure that our industry requires to kind of thin out the herd as to what type of originator you're going to be. And we've talked about this a lot, transactionally based versus relational based. And so it isn't luck when people make choices. It isn't luck when those choices either are good choices or bad choices. It's a matter that people make choices in their industry. And if you're looking at your business and your business is dominated by refinances and you're significantly higher in totals than you were last year, be wary of the fact that if you're 60 or 70% or more refinance, you have to look at this year and realize that your purchase business had better be up 20, 25% over last year, because if it's not, you're losing ground. And it's really important that originators understand that and make the choices, because it is those choices to look at 2021 and say, hey, we may see interest rates stay the same, and there are still a large number of people who would benefit from refinancing. But you can't ignore the industry where we've seen a 22% gain in overall purchase activity, and some loan officers have actually lost ground year over year on their purchase business simply because the vast number of refinance opportunities have kept them out of the loop. In some cases, social distancing has kept us out of the loop, depending upon our relationships. So it's not a matter of, what method you choose to work or what area of the business that you choose to work. It's awareness of where you are from being that center of the origination platform, the person who is the one responsible for generating the opportunity, down through how much of that work you do yourself and how much of that work you have help with is a personal choice. And so all I ask of you this week is to take a look at your business and say, if refinances truly are up, more than 100% year over year, if purchase business is up over 22% year over year, what's been my improvement in my business? What's the percentages that I'm seeing, and where is that business coming from? Because if you're not looking at it and you're not preparing for it, 2021 is going to hit us, and it may continue the ride that we're seeing in 2020. But there also may be things that happen and take place and go forward that may put that in some degree of jeopardy, depending upon where rates go and what regulations or rules or things that we see, happen. And so you have to be aware that 2021 is likely to bring about significant change in our industry. And if you're ready and you're prepared, you're going to prove the axiom that it's not just luck that helps us, proceed and to prosper. It's planning and having purpose and understanding what our targets are and what our business is about. And that's what we do here. That's what we talk about on a regular basis. And as always, if you have questions, if you need help, if you're looking for a design on how you're going to carry through in 2021, just reach out. It's Mike at imtcoaching.com, and we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.